Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to another exciting Bald Explorer Live with me, Richard Vobes, on the 19th of March, 2018. And what a cold, cold day it happens to be. Or evening, I should say. It's been a blooming cold day down here on the south coast in Worthing, at the edge of the South Downs, and right besides the English Channel. And we've been freezing. And I know from the posts that you've been placing up all over the place, particularly in the Bald Explorers page group thing, whatever it is, I know that it has been cold where you are. Where you are? You are! Hee-hee-ha! So welcome, ladies and gentlemen, the start of another week. Are you all well? Are you doing good things? How was the first day back in the office, eh? I tell you, I've had a weekend, 2 days off. Oh, sorry, I didn't mean to do a thing. 2 days off, ladies and gentlemen. 2 long, hard, arduous days off from, and it was hard work. As you know, I was supposed to be going up north. Harriet doesn't like it when I say up north. Going to the Midlands, you know. Sort North Midlands, north of Birmingham anyway. 230 miles. What was that? Something just flew in. Did you see that? Something just flew into my mouth. What was it? Fly? Get out of here. Fly away. I was supposed to go up north, but because I had a sort of contretemps, don't you know, with my wing mirror. My wing mirror went right off. It went right off. It's now repaired, you'll be pleased to know, ladies and gentlemen, so there's nothing to stop me revving up the old Vobes mobile and getting out again into the countryside, the towns and the villages, and do my, exploring and all that sort of caper, which is what I'm going to be doing. But I was supposed to be going up north, but Harriet told me on the Saturday, don't even think about it. I said I wasn't coming up anyway because my car's incapacitated. Snow. They've had another 4 inches of snow. They had to dig Harriet out of her car. She couldn't get over to her mother's. It's been a nightmare. I've been lighting my fire and keeping myself warm. The question is, what have you been doing? What have you been doing to keep warm? Have you been snuggling up to your nearest and dearest? No. So, ladies and gentlemen, let's see who's out there. Let's see who's come out to play today. We've got Anne. We've got Alex. There's Terence. Hello, Terence. It's lovely to see you. We have Graham. Thank you, Graham, for coming along. Frank. Hello, Frank. Jake and Judith and Dave and Jason. Hello, Jason. And Chrissy and Ed and plenty more besides. It's lovely to have you. Thank you so much for coming along and tuning in to the old Bald Explorer live. Live and dandy, that's where we want to be. So, and no doubt more people will come when they... Oh, there we are. Look, Paul and Claire and Andy and Steve. Oh, you're all coming in now, that's it. And even lovely old Nick Tan, the music man. Hello, Nick Tan, the music man. How's the old beard these days? Trimming up the moustache. We need to get you back, actually. We need to get you back on the show, Nick Tan, the music man. That would be lovely. Linda Bridger, all the way from Rustington, has arrived. Chrissy Richardson says, hi, Richard. Mark Fuller has joined us. Terry Hunt. All the emojis are going crazy. So that's brilliant. Now, look at this. I have a full list of things to talk about. That's the problem with having time off. You start thinking about things for the show. That's the problem. So there's loads of things, announcements, and we've got some special vobing reporters coming in. Not roving reporters, but vobing reporters, as we discovered last week, which was fantastic. Thanks to good old Russell. Is Russell out there? Russell, my dear boy. Are you out there? He's not out there. Not at the moment. Well, maybe he is, isn't. Paul has arrived. Hello, Paul. Chris Puller as well. Terry Wood. That's marvellous. Terry Wood, you're going to be one of our stars today. And plenty of others to say hello to and thank, really, for all your lovely contributions. Anyway, let's do the first thing I've got to do, and let's just announce this and get this out the way. We've been trying to get a meet-up, ladies and gentlemen, a meet-up. And it's a problem because people are, of course, spread all over the place. And we happen to have decided, I just said, look, let's get a date in the diary and a place that's fairly central. And we get the first one going. I realise that not everybody can make it. And, you know, not everybody is going to want to turn up, or they won't be on the bus route, or the trains will be not working, or it'll still be snowing, or whatever. But if we at least make some effort and get a date in the diary and get something done. And thanks very much to everybody who's sort of contributed and made notes on all of that, particularly to Claire, who's also been helping me get this organised. So we're going to go on the 28th of April. Here it does say there, at Bramber. Now, there's a pub there, the Castle Tavern. To be honest, I haven't got in touch with them yet because it's miles away, but I just wanted to get a vague idea on whether it's going to work, whether there are going to be numbers. You don't have to come to eat, but the idea would be that we would sort of all meet up and have an early lunch at about noon, meet each other, shake hands. Oh, hello, that's you, is it? Oh, marvellous, yeah. I thought you were bigger than that. I thought you were smaller. I thought you had more hair, Richard. No, I haven't got more hair, thank you. But anyway, the idea is that we all get together and we sort of meet up and all that, have something to nosh or a drink, or bring our own sandwiches, or whatever it is that we want to do, which is fine by me. And because some people will have mobility issues and some people will be, you know, not ready for a sort of 12-mile hike or any of that, I just thought we'd have a saunter. Just a little saunter, ladies and gentlemen, a little strollette around the Bramber Castle ruins, which is very easy because it's pretty flat unless you climb up onto the motte. And then you've got a little bit of a steep hill, and we can all go, I'm the king of the castle, you're the dirty rascal. And then you can all throw raspberries at me, or blow them, even better. Which you know, whatever is entirely up to you. And then, you know, for a couple of hours, whatever it is, it's nice just to have at least done something. We can share notes, bung in suggestions for other things. I know Ed's very keen for us to get up to Petworth, and he's going to see about organising that, which is great. I look forward to that. And we can do many of these, and it can get bigger and better. But I just thought, let's get one done. We can all talk about it, take some photographs and share them on the Bald Explorer group page. And, you know, we'll all be happy, won't we? That's really the idea behind that. So do let me know if you can come or can't come, and nearer the time we'll try and get some numbers. I'll contact the Castle Tavern, I think it is, the pub, and we'll see if we can book a table in there. I dare say, you know, we'll only probably have about 10 or 12 people in the end. I know how awkward these things are, so it doesn't really matter. It's just something, isn't it? See what you reckon about that. Jake says it's his birthday that day. Well, you better come. We'll sing you happy birthday. Chrissy says, did you hear about the plans to cut down the obscene amount of trees across the UK to make way for 5G? It begins in Sheffield. Are you talking about 5G, the signal? 5G now, oh dear, don't get me started on data and stuff. And then trees. This is going to be a bit of a dichotomy for me. Oh dear. I didn't hear about it, but I'm interested in having 5G if it speeds up the potential for us going out and doing the live show in lots of places. So we'll have a bit of a discussion behind the scenes. Kevin says the 28th he's driving back from the Midlands. Oh, that's no good. I do apologise, Kevin. That's a shame. Chrissy goes on to say that we can't let them get away with this anymore. The future of our children depends on something. Well, it does depend on something, that's very true. I don't know what that something is, probably them getting a better education than I did. But anyway, Chris Puller says, I put the date in the diary just in case. Well, it's a firm date. I shall be there, and if anybody wants to join me and say hello, then that would be great. Phil Angel says, love your videos, your shows, there's so much to see. Cheers from Phil in Surrey. Philip, it's so nice of you to join us and to comment. It's really good. This is family. You are family now, ladies and gentlemen. You are part of the big arms that embrace you. So I hope you don't mind that. Martin Snow says the Castle Inn Tavern, Richard Vobes. Get it right. Yes, he's continually correcting me. Is the lovely Martin Snow. Martin Snow? Where is Martin Snow? Is he here? Oh, no, he's out there. Phew, I'm safe for a moment. All the emojis are going past still. That's lovely. So, Chrissy says it depends on us doing something. Yes, I do apologise. I read these very swiftly, Chrissy, the comments, because obviously I'm trying to keep some coherent flow of babble coming out the old gob. And I don't want the show to be me just literally sitting there reading out comments, because naturally you guys can see them. But I take your point and we can talk separately about that. I still want to have a look at this fracking thing and talk to you about that and find out what your group's opinion is on it. I'm staying on the fence because as I said before, I don't know enough on either side. So I don't want to form an opinion and be just pushed into something because just a load of people tell me that it's supposed to be bad. But at the same time, I want to find, I do that with everything as much as I can. Of course, I form my own opinion on a number of things. Can we be called Vobes, says Ed Keeley. Of course you can. When I had my children, when I used to do the juggling and the unicycling and the showmanship stuff, and they would come with me to little circuses, I used to call myself Dickie Vobes and the Vobettes. But you can be Vobites if you so wish. John Turner has joined. Hello, John. Lovely to see you. Thank you for coming by. It's very nice of you to inquire what we're up to here on a cold winter's evening here in the jolly old UK. Alex says that Richard's errors could be Vobisms. Yeah, you could fill a great big tome full of my Vobisms. How is it, by the way, Alex, right up north there? Are you? You must be dug out in so much snow that you're in igloos, aren't you? Judith Oakley says Vobis. She's questioning Ed about that. Corin has joined us. The activity is called Vobing. There we are. There's a whole what is it? Adjective, nouns, and verbs, and whole grammar. That was the word I was grasping for. There's a whole grammar for it. Pam says, I'm fascinated with 3D printing. Straight out of nowhere. Don't know where that came from. Are you? 3D print. Well, there we are. If you're fascinated with something, do let me know. Not that I can do a damn thing about it, but it's always curious to see what it is. What's your favourite drink, says Jake? Well, it does depend. I do drink copious amounts of Dow Egbert's coffee. I like a nice cocoa before I go to bed in the winter. I sometimes have PLJ, which is as old as the hills, a little bit of pure lemon juice. And I like little teas, those sort of teas. I don't really drink much alcohol unless I'm doing the beer tasting, which I haven't done for years, but that could be quite fun. We might bring some food and beer tasting back to the show in a bigger way, but more about that in future shows. Now, let me crack on because there's lots to do and see. And lots to talk about. But first, let's have a little break because you guys have been brilliant. You guys have been out there. If you are a member of the Bald Explorer group, which is different to the page, there's the Bald Explorer group. It's brilliant to be in that group because you will see so much activity from the members themselves. It's not just about me posting stuff. It's really about you guys posting stuff. And I have to say, this weekend, we must have had the most active time on the group. I just haven't been able to keep up with it. It's been brilliant. So, for example, hang on a minute. Let me get back into here. Here are two retrobates that have been out there posting stuff. We've got the very lovely, and I don't actually know what your dog is called, actually, but we have Paul Hine there in Southsea, and he's been posting some walks in the snow. One of them was abandoned, poor chap, and he looks cold there, doesn't he? And in fact, his beard and his moustache is the same colour as his lovely dog's. So I don't know... I don't know if there's some sort of gene that's going on there, but it's very nice. Anyway, it's brilliant to see you there, Paul. And then on the other side of the picture, beside the trains, is good old Terry Ward from South Devon, and he's been to Buckley Fast, down to the station, looking at steam trains and having a rummage around. You can see all those in the group. You can find those out in the group and listen to them and watch them. And I know Terry was broadcasting live as he did it, which was amazing. I don't know if you were doing the same, Paul, but I'd be very interested to find out, actually. It's curious because I'm going to talk a little bit about live streaming. You're all Oddie the dog, that's right. You have mentioned it, but I know that there's a Dottie or Dorothy or can't remember all these names. You think it's easy, don't you? Because you've got the names in front of you. Here am I sitting on the fly of my pants. The what? The fly of... Anyway, I don't think we'll go there. Thank you very much. The Braziers are here. Oh, it's so nice. It's so nice to see that the Braziers are here. Could you light the brazier and we could get nice and warm? That would be good, because the fire in here is dwindling, and the ice all around. I feel like I'm in the igloo. I was talking about igloos earlier. Claire Leach says, "Buck fastly." What did I say? I said something different, didn't I? I open my mouth and the strange concoctions come out of it, which aren't necessarily accurate, but they are quite amusing to listen to. I know, yes, I'm full of it. But fastly down the road from Newton Abbot. That's right, they're just down there, see? Down along, up along, round along the Bingabong. The Bingabong, not the Billybong, no. Anyway, right, so anyway, what I was going to get onto, you've been absolute stars, you've been marvellous, you've been out making videos, and you've been sending some to me, and you've been posting some. So, let us have a look at one of them. Kevin Hall. Kevin Hall, you are a star. He decided it wasn't good enough to watch the lovely Julia and I go flaunting about in Kingly Vale and looking at those yew trees. He was determined, ladies and gentlemen. He was determined to go scrabbling up the hill that we didn't make. And here is the lovely Kevin's report. Have a look at this. No, nothing's happening. Wait a minute. Have we got something gone wrong here? Yes, we have got something gone wrong here. There is a moment where one moment, ladies and gentlemen. Normal service will be resumed. Not quite sure. The MP4 that I've got here lined up to play is not working. Hey, let me just try that one more time and see if it will actually play. It played a few seconds ago. Hold on. So here is Kevin. Let's hope this works. Here is Kevin Hall with his report. No, it's not going to do it. Okay, don't panic. Let's try the other one. Here we go. Instead of... Hang on. We'll put the camera back, though. Put the camera back. I'm working solo, ladies and gentlemen. I'm working solo, and it's all falling to bits. But don't let that upset you. On the other hand, Kevin, we will get to your report, I'm sure. It's this program sometimes does it jumps up and it says, I'm not playing your video. I don't know why. In my little tester just a few minutes ago, it was playing all right. Let's try this one then. Because also a fellow Vobing reporter has been out. Matt Brazier, now that you're here, you'll be able to watch your own video. Matt Brazier has been out. They've been over to Dover at another of the fortresses there. Part of the Drop Fortress, I believe it's called. The Drop Redoubt in Dover. And this is... fingers crossed. This is his report. Well, there we are, ladies and gentlemen. I hope that I hope you managed to get that all right. It seemed to go out from my end. Yes, I know. What was it? Jake said a technophobe. Thanks very much for that. All things bells and whistles. We'll get to Kevin's show. Don't you worry about that. We'll have it going. I've got boffins in here, unplugging things, putting in new diodes, testing transistors, making sure the capacitors are going into the right direction. Even some of the valves have been replaced, ladies and gentlemen. It's all going on here. Eric, can you keep the noise down, please? He's just in the background there sorting it all out. Now, talking about things going wrong and being live, and the advantage of being live, because it gives it that sort of edgy feel that anything could happen, anything can go wrong. The roof might fall in, I might disappear off my chair any second, I might be talking and you may not even be hearing me. All those sort of things are potential hazards of going live. And yet, ladies and gentlemen, the old Vobes One-Eyed Kenobi, he's keen to go out and about live. Now, part of my investigations today, have involved nipping down to the EE shop and finding out. Now, I was doing some research last night, because obviously I wasn't doing a show, you see. No, don't have a life, do I? I don't have an old personal life anymore. It's all about the show. Not messing about. Anyway, so I was looking up, and apparently on one so-called unbiased site said that EE, out of all the data people, the mobile solution people, had the best upload speed. Now, I don't want to bore you with technical stuff, but upload's very important when you're streaming, because when you've got your little diddy phone and you're streaming it up, the faster or the more data and the bigger the bandwidth you've got to stream up, the better the signal, the better the picture, the better the rock solid it's going to be. So, and of course, that particular company, I won't keep saying their name, but that particular company seemed to be one of the best for the uploads, you see, and in a price comparison and all of that nonsense. So that was fine, that was good. So I nipped down to the shop because I was trying to fathom out how to do this in a cost-effective way and work out exactly what the cost. Well, in an hour show, if I was doing an hour show, apparently I need something like 2 megabytes per second data stream. Okay, this is all just, silly numbers now. So I need 2 megabytes per data stream, and in an hour show that's about 900 megabytes, so it's just under a gig. So call it a gig. But of course, when you're making this, you also get the feedback, so you can see what people are typing, so you're probably getting the same lot back again. So you probably need 2 gigs worth of bandwidth per person of data per show in order to do it. Now, these gadgets are out there like 50 quid for the unit. You get the unit for 50 quid. You tether it up to your laptop, you stick it on somewhere, and it goes up with 4G, not 5G, not cut any trees down yet to get the old Vobes out, but you never know. And so you can do all that, which is great. But then, depending on what package you buy, well, you can buy one for £15, and you get total of 2 gigabytes. That's one show, ladies and gentlemen. One show could cost £15 just for the data. Never mind getting there, setting up, and all the other things, price of a cup of coffee for the Vobes One-Eyed Kenobi just before he goes and does the show, so that he can be up there and on and doing his thing. I say, absolute shower. So that was interesting. But then there are other packages for £30. You get something like 30 gig, which gives you £1 a gig. Well, that's in a month, and that seemed to be quite reasonable, because you could do several of those. You could do 15 shows, couldn't you? 15 shows from different places if you're using up 2 gigs. So obviously that makes the cost per show hugely cheaper, much cheaper. So I'm working out all of that, what I need, because you're limited very much by the coverage of where you are. And there's a number of places that I've been looking at that wanting to do shows, and Ed Warren knows that I want to do this show near Ebano. Is it Ebano or something like that? Lovely village. Frank will know. Frank will know if it's called Ebano, because I don't know. I know nothing. E know nothing. E from Barcelona. E know not. What am I talking about? So thank you, Manuel. Thank you so much. Anyway, So I'm looking into it, but I do want to take the show out live. Instead of just these four walls, we want to be in exciting and new places. So it may be coming from the inside of a windmill or beside a windmill, from a cricket ground or somewhere like that, or beside the sea. I've got my eye on a few places. Now, on that, ladies and gentlemen, I was very keen to get in with Worthing Council, and I happened to bump into this lady at this leaflet thing the other day, to Martin Snow. Good old Martin. Where is Martin Snow? Oh, he's out there, isn't he? Of course, I forgot. Anyway, so I met this woman with Martin Snow when we were doing the leaflet exchange, and she seemed to be very interested in the Bald Explorer, and I thought, oh, I'll get in here. So I wrote to her over the weekend, a couple of emails, gave her loads of suggestions of how the Bald Explorer can help promote the Worthing stuff and all of that. And then I was talking about the live show and how it works and this, that and the other. And then, so this morning, I got it was this afternoon, I got a sort of curt reply. I was all very enthusiastic and giving out ideas and showing them how they could promote their newly discover Worthing stuff and help them out. And I got this curt reply just going, well, if we see there's anything that we want to link in with you, we'll be in touch. And I thought, oh, well, there's a kick in the teeth if ever you wanted one, didn't it? And I thought, well, I'd sod that then. Sod that. That's very strange, some of these people. I'm sure probably she's got her hands tied and things are going on. Who knows? Anyway, let's see what you're talking about. Terry Wood says, brilliant. Dan spent many a happy hour at the fort and other places underground the day. Oh, good. I'm very pleased that you enjoyed that. Steve says, you can have fastest upload in the world, but you have to have you have a signal, exactly, and I understand with that. EE do have good coverage network. Oh no, do they have a good coverage network? That's it. Ebeno, says Ed Warren, correcting me. Yes, Ebeno, says Graham Whittington. Everyone's telling me Ebeno. Well, Ebeno is the ebb and flow. That's what we want. Let's see now, ladies and gentlemen. I just want to see if I can get this second one, the second report with Kevin. Eric over there, Eric, my technical engineer, is managing to say that we possibly have got it now. We may have got it. The live bit will work. Let's see if Kevin Hall can take us to parts of Kingley Vale that the lovely Julia and I never managed to get to.
Hello, Richard. This is Kevin and Cynthia, and we've come up to a place that you know very well, which is Kingley Vale. So we're exploring the yew trees. It's we've only just started the walk, but absolutely fascinating so far. So we're going to have lots of photographs and possibly a little bit more video for you, for the viewers, for later on. We've just come up into past marker post number 13. Unlucky for some, hopefully not for us, in this rather dense piece of yew forest. As I pan round, you can see where we've been. So we will carry on with our walk, hike. We're getting hotter and hotter, or I am, through Kingley Vale Nature Reserve. Richard, I think on your video you posted about Kingley Vale with Julia, you said there was a bit of a climb. Can I just say it's more like a mountainside where you're walking on chalk that is very slippery and very damp. So, you know, we're trying to get these videos correct for you, so could you try harder in future, please? So Cynthia and I, and there's Cynthia there, munching away, we're having a break, which is well earned after that climb. And we've just looked into the distance, and we can see a kestrel, I think, which is now gone. But yeah, but we're enjoying the walk. We're enjoying what we're seeing about the trees. Beautiful, some of them, and some of them have almost like look like faces. You can see a face in the trees, which is quite incredible. Well, here we are again, Richard. Right out in the open now, with beautiful scenery all around us. We're looking out towards Chichester, and I think out towards Chichester Harbour. As I pan round, we're coming up towards, I think you said they were the ancient iron forts, and you can see Cynthia walking away in the distance there. But if anybody's never been to this Kingley Vale nature reserve. Wow, you've got to come. It has been absolutely stunning. We have loved every minute of it, and we will be coming back again. But we've had a fantastic time following the trail all the way round, and we'd love to come again. But the clouds are coming in a bit. There's still one or two people about. But hey, this is what it's all about. It's walking in all different weathers and enjoying yourselves, getting out in the fresh air and having a good time. We haven't seen much wildlife, which we're a bit disappointed about, but the yew trees have made up for it. And we are just sitting down, having a last bit of coffee and about to walk back to the car park. So it's Cynthia and Kevin signing off as Vobes reporters. Bye for now.
Bye.
I nearly lost the camera again then. Marvellous, we got it, we got the file. Thank you very much, Kevin, you cheeky man. Doing our best, you know, we are doing our best. But there we go. Isn't that fantastic? I just love the way people have embraced the idea that they're going to be out there vobing reporting. Now, I will post those individual files up on in the group page, on the Facebook group page, so that those who haven't seen it do get a chance to go and see it. If you want to join yourself into the group, it's all good fun. And anybody else who would like to do some of that would be great. Don't forget to send them by WeTransfer. Oh, and also, can I just do a bit of video educating? When you go out and you film, these guys knew what they were doing. Can you film like that? Horizontally, as opposed to filming like that, because you'll notice that the video square that I show the videos in is horizontal, and it will match if you film it that way, rather than, as so many people do, film stuff. It's so unnatural. I mean, it may feel natural to film it like that, but it's a very short, thin, narrow, when all televisions and monitor screens and everything else bar phones are designed horizontally. So if you can film them like that, it would be much, much better, and thank you very much. That told you, didn't it? Yeah, that told you. Anyway, you'll get annoyed with me and slap me. Now, that was very nice. You went up to Kingley Vale there, Kevin, and you looked at those trees. You may have noticed that in today's video, Julia and I, the lovely Julia and I should have said, of course, we went and had a look at the Crowhurst tree in Surrey, in the St George's churchyard. Well, it is most peculiar, ladies and gentlemen, because it was pointed out to me, that there is another Crowhurst village in East Sussex, and in St George's churchyard, in the name of the same village, is another equally old, maybe a little bit younger, yew tree, just as we had seen. Amazing. And there it is. There's an old picture from 1896 on the left, and there it is as it is today. And yeah, the what are the chances, eh? What are the chances, eh? Right? What are the chances, eh? What are the chances of that of that actually happening, ladies and gentlemen? That there's another Crowhurst, that it's got a St George's church in the churchyard, and not in the church, because the church is in the churchyard, of course, and that the tree is another ancient yew tree. I mean, and they're about, 30 miles apart, ladies and gentlemen. That is incredible. That is incredible. What are the chances, eh? What are the chances, eh? Sorry, mucking about. Stop mucking about. Stop mucking about. Oh, no, stop mucking about. Less of that. Oh, matron. So, of course, I got hold of Julia immediately, and I said, Here, Julia. Yes, Richard. I said, we've got to go and see that. Oh, yes, Richard. I said, you've got to go and dye your hair purple again and, get rid of those golden locks. Because, when Julia isn't on camera, ladies and gentlemen, I should point out she is actually a bleached blonde. With big, those sort of fingernails, extended fingernails, massive eyelashes and all that, gold medallions and things all over her, and big hoops, those sort of big hoops, and a lot of hairspray, a lot of hairspray. It's all frizzed up. That's what she's like, really. But it takes the makeup department and the prosthetics there to get her to sort of look as she does, you know, the lovely Julia that she has now become. I'm being very rude. She's probably going to give me a slap the next time I see her. But anyway, there we are. So that's that. So we're going to do another Crowhurst investigation. I hope that's all right. We will fly as the crow flies. Flippity flappity flippity flew. Off we go down with the view. So that's that. Matthew Daly put an interesting post in the group the other day over the weekend, which sort of had me a bit stunned. And he had a picture, which I haven't actually got, of a public footpath sign, and he said these are useless, aren't they? He said it was a bit tongue-in-cheek, the post. He said, but these are useless, these public footpath signs. You know, the post with the thing, and it says public footpath or bridle path. He said because it doesn't tell you where you're going, how far it is. It's not very, you know, whether it's going uphill, downhill. There's no gradient thing. Whether you can get into a car at the other end, whether there's a car park or anything. It just says public footpath. I mean, you could use your eyes, basically. You could use your eyes. Oh, yeah, it's a public footpath. Just as you can go, oh, there's a road. You don't need a sign to say it's a road. You can see it's a road. You can see it's a public. And I thought, well, that's true. It is true. It's a good point. It's a good point and well made. Except that, of course, these notices really, in my mind, and I may be right, in my mind, I think they're very important that we have those signs. Yes, it would be useful, but they kind of go anywhere, don't they? And they crisscross the countryside. But the important thing to remember is that they are rights of way. Long history earned. They've been earned from eons, from when men and women were taking the route up the sides of little fields, and at the sides of hedges and the sides of here, there and everything. And these became, through common law, by common usage, these rights of way, which we in the UK are so lucky to have. Oh, you're so lucky, you lucky. I better not swear, because this is obviously a friendly zone. But anyway, we are very lucky. Whereas in America, they don't have this. You know, you can't just crisscross any old where, because people have actually, because they all went over in the, whenever it was, the 17th century, claimed land and made it private. Whereas from the days of the Neolithics, when people have been traipsing these ancient routes. So I think it's great, and also it adds to the mystery. Where does it go? It may just go to a dead end. It may just come to an end. The other thing is, farmers and landowners often want to sort of go, oh, if only we could move those blooming public footpaths. But it is the way, ladies and gentlemen, that you and I have the right to go traipsing over private land and get the views that we might not otherwise get. So I think they're great markers. They may not tell us how far it is, but it depends. How far are you going? The sign doesn't know that you only want 3 miles distance. How far are you prepared to walk? And are you going to take the left junction or the right junction, or keep going on, or go down the fork? I mean, it would be very difficult, because what would some of these signposts say? It goes to the end of the field, then you can go left or right. So you could go that way or this way. So it would be very hard for them. Anyway, I just thought I'd mention that. Another little thing there. Oh, here's something interesting that you may find absolutely bizarre. No, not that one. Here we go. Here it is. This is the one. Yes, I have been asked to talk, ladies and gentlemen. Mostly I get asked to shut up. Richard, will you shut the dickens up? And usually I try to oblige, but I'm going to be at the Sussex Mills Group. Look at that handsome bloke there with the it's the one behind that balding chap. Oh, you can't see him. Anyway, there's a handsome bloke there. At their annual general meeting. Yeah, that's going to be fun. So that's at West Blatchington. I don't think it's open to the public and stuff. I think it's really only for members and stuff. At 7:30, guest speaker, the bald explorer, Richard Vobes. Ha ha! That's going to be funny, isn't it? I've no idea, ladies and gentlemen, no idea at this stage of the game what I'm going to be talking about. But what it does mean, sadly for you guys, is I will not be here. No, there'll be this. Silence, ladies and gentlemen. Yes, I know. All right. I know you're going, yippee! Yippee! Silence! Nothing! I may just end up broadcasting an older version of the show. Or, I suppose in the afternoon I could do a show and then put it up as live. You wouldn't know, would you? I could just pretend it's live, as long as I just go, oh, look, Steve's here, and Claire's here, and Alex is here, and Ed's here. You wouldn't know. I could just probably get away with a cardboard cutout. Maybe I could just stick this back up there and just say, there he is, and put on a track of Shakespeare or something. Oh no, you might know then that you'll know that wasn't me. Anyway, so that's where I'm going to be. So on no, it's not Thursday, Friday. I got to get that right. The Friday show. That's where we are. Hello, Richard. Oh, somebody's just disappeared. Labour Party changed. Anyway, I can't. Oh, the Labour Party changed the way to get rid of the rights of way, says Martin Snow. Here's something useful for you to visit. Us beasts from East Sussex. The right of way map shows where there are gates, sites, bridges as well. Oh, it's disappearing. As well as something to do with the footpath. Thank you for that. I'll have a look at that after the show and save it. Richard says, Mark Selwood, I'm at work. Oh, so sorry. Jake has put millions of noughts. I don't know what that... he's saying it's a marvellous show. Lots of rights to die in a couple of years. Ask a Rambler. Well, if I could find a Rambler, but they keep walking away. Have you ever tried that? Excuse me. Hello. I wonder if I could just... you're going up there. Ramblers, don't ask them, because they're always on the move. Mick Bain says, windmills, ? Not sure what you mean. I know what they are. Windmills. Oh, am I going to talk about windmills? Did you hear that? The penny. Bing! It dropped. It dropped. Do you know when they say you can hear a pin drop? Stupid phrase, isn't it? Because you don't hear the drop, you hear the land. Isn't that a stupid phrase? That's the most... There are phrases of the English language. Oh, you could hear a pin drop. So what are you supposed to hear? The sort of whoosh noise as it's falling. You don't hear it drop, you hear it land. And the other thing is, when you drive in an alleyway, very narrow, and everybody goes, oh, we're going through the alley, breathe in. Well, that's another stupid phrase, isn't it? Breathe in. If you breathe in, you're filling your lungs with oxygen. You're going to raise your chest. You breathe in like that. You're actually making yourself bigger. You want to be breathing out. Oh, we're going through a narrow thing. Breathe out. If you breathe out, you make yourself small. There are English phrases. Have your cake and eat it. I've never understood that phrase. Most stupid. What's the point of having cake? Exactly. If you can't eat it. It is mind-bogglingly stupid. But that's why the English language is so lovely, ladies and gentlemen. So lovely. Absolute lovely. I say, absolute shower. Yes. So there we go. Laughing out loud, says Timothy Wareham. Marvellous. Don't wear it out too much. Dan Thompson says Barnes. People are just using words now. They're just picking on a noun and randomly saying it. Like helicopter, donuts, flip monsters. Oh, earlier today I was playing with my dog nozzle. Some people will understand what that is, but many people won't. LOL, says Claire Leach. Alex says you'll sail through the talk and they will mill around and around after you. Yes, that's right. Yes, that's it. I could give them my sales talk, couldn't I? And then at the end I could sweep up. I know, it's getting a bit corny now, isn't it? Oh, dear, oh dear. Can't think of any other jokes on windmills, but I'm sure as long as I don't let one off, then it'll be windy. Oh yes, thanks very much. That's good. I should have bought some space to get onto my hopper. No, that doesn't work. Anyway, enough of this nonsense. So that was I've done the signs, talk at the thing. This week, well, I was getting confused because that's where I am on Friday. This week, very interesting. I hope you're still there and still watching. I'm going to somewhere called Now, I've got to get this right. It's the townhouse at Brunswick. And here is a picture. It's in Brighton and Hove, actually. It's more in Hove, in fact. There on the right-hand side, you can see this rather elegant house. And here is some old designs, architect designs of the house. And Paul Couchman has very kindly organised this. I'm going to be going to the townhouse, which is rather magnificent. And let me tell you something very briefly about it. It's the Regency Townhouse. You've got to get it right. It's a Grade 1 listed terrace house in the heart of Georgian estate known as Brunswick Town. It's in the city of Brighton and Hove, as I said, on the south coast. It was built in the mid-1820s and is being developed as a heritage centre and museum. It'll focus on architecture and social history of Brighton and Hove between 1780 and 1850. And I'm going to get a lovely little preview of all that, and I'm very, very much excited. That's what I'm doing on Thursday. So we hope that all the snow and all the bad weather has just sailed away. And then that will be absolutely great. So that's what I'm doing there. I just thought I would mention that. Wednesday, oh dear, oh dear, oh dear. How is a man in his midlife crisis, how does a man of a certain age cope when his son and his girlfriend, more his girlfriend actually, his son had a part to play in this, but his girlfriend's done most of the work. His son and heir, or one of them, his eldest son, how does a man in his middle age, young, I'm still young. No, but no, my son is expecting a baby. Well, he's not expecting a baby, obviously, but his girlfriend's expecting a baby. Well, they've been expecting it for 9 months. And because the baby is a slight complication, it's upside down and clinging on like this, they've decided they're going to have not a circumcision, what is the word? A caesarean. Caesarean, not a circum, that doesn't do the job. They're going to have a caesarean. Well, they aren't, she is. There's no point my son having one, because it'll just disembowel him. But they're going to have he's not going to get. They're going to have a caesarean, you see, or a C-section, as they like to see, which sounds even worse. So yes, she's going to have the night when the baby's being pulled out on Wednesday. So never mind that they're having a baby and it's all going to be, oh nice, look at that lovely little baby, little baby lying by the fire. Tell me you love me, little baby. Oh, little baby, hello daddy. Oh, little baby, hello mummy. Oh, little baby, I'm gonna bring you hell. I'm gonna scream the house down, little baby. Just calm yourself. Hang on, just one moment, please. This is the BBC Home Service. We have replaced that presenter with a new one. Looks identical and sounds remarkably similar, but this one is less stupid. I thank you. Now, they're going to have a baby, and then what does that make me? That makes me a I can't even bring myself to say the word. That it's like I was okay being in my 50s. I was all right being in my 50s. It was fine being life begins at a 50, but when you're suddenly thrust, I mean, it's lovely. It's so lovely having a little baby. It's a little cutie little baby. But what does it do to me? It's like suddenly I'm pushed. No longer am I the father of my son who, looks up to me and says, oh, daddy, can you help me fix my bench in my office and help me make this and fix the gate for me and look after me and all. Suddenly my responsibility just shoved over because now my son is a father. My son is the father to be looked after, and he has his responsibilities. And I am now designated to... It's pipe and slippers and sitting by the fire and muttering and taking one's teeth out and one's eye and just sort of going decrepit. That's what it means. Well, I'm not having it. I'm not going to go and see it. I'm not going to see this little child, this little bastard child that's come into the air. No, they're not even married. Ladies and gentlemen. It's outrageous. It's outrageous. I'm not going to go and see that little child. No, I'm not going to. Of course I will. But to be I can't say the word, ladies and gentlemen, because I still feel young and youthful, and I need to feel somebody young. And I mean, what am I saying? Anyway, enough of this. But that's what's happening on Wednesday. So it's a full week, ladies and gentlemen. Becoming a going to the Regency Townhouse and then doing a talk. It's too much for a man. It's too much. However, ladies and gentlemen, where are we? I've lost the control panel here. Let's see what you're gassing on about. I would if I could find the thing. Yes, I can. I'm reading it. I'm reading the words. I'm not saying them out loud. Richard's lost it. Yes, yeah, thank you. You don't need to say it. Thank you very much. Chrissy Richardson says, I'm 46 and I have a 4-year-old thing. In the eyes of the law, you ain't... Oh, good. Yes. Salvaged from the rushes. Thank you so much, Mark Selwood. In the eyes of the law, I'm not one, because they're not married, are they? I'm not technically. Is that right? Is that what you're saying? Is that what you mean? I'm hoping. Please spare me that old age. Too early to be old and decrepit and far too. Right, I must get on because it's just a couple more items, ladies and gentlemen. I've asked a question about Skype, and the reason I've asked a question about Skype in the Bald Explorer group is because it would be great to get callers, so you don't just have to type in here, but we could actually have people call in and we could have a conversation. So I was asking, what do people mostly use? I'm using a laptop, so I can't, it's a Windows laptop, so I can't use any of those Apple products. I don't want to get to use those because I won't be able to. So the question is, what is the best thing? And I think Skype is fairly still universal. We could, so if you wanted to call in, I've got to work out how to do it on the system because it's a pretty primitive system here. If you could see it, you'd see why. It's not it's not the BBC. It's not the biased BBC, ladies and gentlemen. So it is the biased Vobie One-Eyed Kenobi. And but it would be great. So we may start testing that, but not today. Thought I'd mention that. The other thing is, I was contacted last night randomly, out of the blue, by a very charming young lady called Charlie Harris. Charlie Harris, she is a Welsh... Well, I don't know if she's Welsh herself, but she is in Wales. She's studying at the University of Wales. And she wanted to tell me about this medieval day that they're having at Trinity St David Lampeter campus on the 24th of March 2018 from 11 till 5. She was very keen to get the old Vobes, the Bald Explorer, to come along and have her do a sort of interesting interview with all the people there and cover the event. But they had their medieval choir, of which she is a member. And I don't know how old she is. She's probably in her early 20s. It's a university age and all that. But it was very lovely to be contacted completely out of the blue. She says she watches these things, so if you're watching, it's very nice to have you join the fold at your tender age. She sounds very, very educated, so I don't quite what she's watching this nonsense for. I don't know, but there we are. But I said to her, oh, that's interesting. Oh, I've got a picture here. I've got another picture here to show you. Here we are. This is one of the things. It's all very cultured, ladies and gentlemen. It's rare that we have any culture on this show, unless it's some mould that's growing on my head or in my bad eye. But, ladies and gentlemen, we now join you again. I beg your pardon. We were disconnected for a moment. We're now reconnected. Don't know what was going on. It's happened once before. It flits and then it comes back. But anyway, we're back, so I'll carry on. Anyway, so Charlie Harris got in touch and said, would you come? And I said, well, I can't come on that particular day. Basically, my son's having a baby and I'm being transported into a different dimension and I'm hiding under a carpet, besides which there's other things going on at the moment. But I said to her, look, wouldn't it be great if I could come up and see you and your team and maybe we could go around some of the old Welsh monastery ruins and record some of your music and talk to you about the course and what you're doing and the history. I think she's into archaeology as well. I always just try and, if somebody contacts me, I always try and find a way that we can make something of it, even if I can't do the initial thought. So do stay in touch. She's a new member of the Bald Explorer group, so make her welcome. It's very great to have somebody new. So there we go. I like to try and welcome everybody is welcome in this. Now, we've been going far too long for a solo show, and I do apologise, and no doubt people are a bit bored of that. So I'm going to disappear. Probably got nothing now, nothing for tomorrow's show, because you've been so prolific over the weekend. I think we've shown everything that we needed to and talked about all that we needed to. So, ladies and gentlemen, before we get cut off one more time, and I apologise for going a bit bonkers in the show, but that is me. I am a little bit mad. But when you hear that music, you know what it means. I've had a fantastic show. It's been lovely to be with you and share those magic moments. But I better go and put myself back in a little bottle. And I will be back again at 8 o'clock tomorrow, ladies and gentlemen. Make the most of it, because I won't be here on Friday. It's so lovely to see you. Thank you so much. Take care, one and all. Don't forget to join the Bald Explorer group. And if you fancy becoming a patron, well, I'll tell you about being a patron if you don't know in tomorrow's show. But from the Balding Explorer, thank you to everybody, to Elaine, to Andy Ash, to Paul Hine, to Claire, to Mark, to Anne, to Cynthia, to everybody who's watching, to Graham, to all of you whose names, to Julia, who was, good show, and good night to everybody. And there's Russell, marvellous. I haven't seen all your names this evening, but it's been absolutely fantastic. But for now, I must depart. I really must go. Not going to Moscow. Not at the moment. Not with all the problems. Oh no. It's not going to fail. Ta-ta, ladies and gentlemen.